Hi there, this is John from RevSoft, and this presentation is an overview of the high availability in REV Scheduler version 10.3. This applies to all platforms. So what we're going to do is in less than 10 minutes, we're going to explain how the high availability works in REV Scheduler, do a simulation of a cutover, run a cutover, and a cutback. So let's see how we go. Right, the REV Scheduler high availability functionality is totally independent of the HA solution you've got implemented for your ERP application. No RevSoft libraries or folders should be replicated by the HA solution, as it's all done by the RevSoft products, REV Scheduler and REV View. The REV Scheduler HA functionality controls the sending and applying of any updates using REV View of the HA selected job events and their components to the failover server or servers, because we can do one-to-many. We like to call this shadowing in the place of HA replication. Okay, sounds okay, so what do we need to run it? All you need on both servers is REV Scheduler and REV View. It really is that simple. Okay, so how do we set it up? Well, it's a two-step process. First, you define the failover server or servers. Then you select the appropriate HA applicable job events on the primary server. Now this can either be a combination of selecting specific job events or selecting the environments, which then applies to all the job events for that selected environment. Selection by environment is a better mechanism, as what we've found is it caters for all the current and future job events for that environment. So if you do an add, update or delete to a job in that environment and it's flagged for HA, it will automatically be shadowed. Okay, so that's what I've got to set up. Now, how does it actually work? Okay, so what we've got is a primary to two failover servers. Part of the difference you'll see straight away. The REV Scheduler engines are always active on the failover servers. Always active. That is part of the reason why the cutover is so fast, and you'll see some of the figures that we've got here. The shadow job events are not available for execution by the engine, so the engine is active, but it won't execute those jobs. Okay, how do they get executed then? To activate the shadow job events on the failover server, you run the rj-act-hav command, and this will change those sleeping shadow jobs to job events that are now active. We haven't touched the engine or libraries or renamed anything. These job events are now available to execution after you execute this command. One of our customers cuts over every 12 weeks and runs for 1 week on that server, then cuts back. Their last cutover was 3,000 jobs, 0.480 of a second with 100% accuracy. Okay, how do we deactivate it? Well, what we do is we run the RJ deact-hav. It will then take those active jobs and send them back to a sleeping, replicated or shadowed state, and they're not available for execution then. So you run these activate and deactivate commands while the REV Scheduler engine is active on the failover servers. What we're doing is we're touching the job events and not the engine. So that is why it is so fast. Okay, well that's a theory. Let's see how it actually works. Connecting to the V5 iSeries here, we can see it's got high availability set up to 3 systems, 1 Windows, 2 iSeries. Yes, I know the Windows jobs won't execute, but it's a good proof of concept. If we look at all the jobs on that server, there's 586 and 100 are selected to be shadowed over to those 3 servers, 62 individually and 38 by environments. If we look at the environment, what we can see is there are 3 environments here that have been selected to automatically shadow any jobs that are added, updated or deleted into that environment, because an environment is a container that contains jobs. Okay, so let's go over to the V6 server, which is one of the ones we were replicating to, and let's look at the shadows on there. Okay, pretty good so far, 62 and 38. It all matches up. That's good. Alright, now what do those jobs look like? Well, here's those jobs on the V6 server, and as you can see, they're not active because I had to filter by all to show it. Now I'm just showing the environment HA. just so we can prove as they go over that these turn from replicated and shadowed to active. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the HA one. Let's check out V6 and let's run the simulation. Okay, how long is it going to take? Okay, about 11,000th of a second. Well, I reckon I can live with that. So what we do, let's do it from the green screen. Let's go into the high availability, which is option 9, and then as what we saw in the demonstration is we run the RJ act HAV command. 3, let's go. Ready, set, done. Okay, let's go back to those jobs here and let's hit the refresh key. Now this is a definition side, so there we go. They're all active now, and they are available for execution by the scheduler engine. That's why we leave the engine running. There's no renaming, nothing has to happen. We touch the jobs, not the library or the engine. So let's see, how long did that actually take? Let's go into the review and have a look. Okay, how long did it take? There we go, 23 1,000ths of a second. And these are the ones on a recording that I messed up before. Alright, so what we've seen is the job is now active and the engine could execute it. So okay, now I want to cut back. Okay, the deactivate, option 4. Let's run that. Okay, done. Let's go back to the definitions. Let's have a look. And what's happened here is they aren't active anymore. They're in a shadowed state, so the engine will not pick them up and execute them. If we go back and see how long that took, the cutover, and there's a cut back. So we've got the cutover taking, how long was it? There we go, 23 1,000ths of a second, and the cut back 26 1,000ths of a second. And one of our customers did ask us if we could look at that and make it a bit faster, but we figure that's fast enough, and that's why one of our customers cuts over every 12 weeks, runs for a week and cuts back, and their 3,000 jobs takes less than half a second. So the whole way of the design, which we went through with Amway in Grand Rapids, Michigan, they were the first ones we went through with it. They had mimics, and not all the jobs were to be replicated, so they wanted us to work on them with it. We worked on them with it, and it's a very mature setup now that we have that's been battle tested in I don't know how many countries. But that is the whole high availability in a nutshell. We've done the theory, we've done the practical, and we've come in under 10 minutes, and we've done the theory, we've done a simulation of a cutover, we've done a live cutover and a live cutback, admittedly only with 100 jobs, but as you can see, it's not going to take very long to get done. If you'd like any further information, please do not hesitate to contact us at product_info@revsoft.com, and thank you for your time.